Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Sulhi Azman, joined by Nadia Hassan. Companies in the news today, we have Abric Bhd. Now, the stock has been suspended from trading. The last closing price was at 51 cents. And looking at the trend, Nadia, the stock has fallen by 13% since end October last year.
Of course, we wish we had more on for you at the moment. The
Correct.
thing is, the reason why I picked this was because we thought they would make an announcement by the time, but as the time we actually went to air, they still hadn't, what do you call it, announced yet. I'm actually refreshing the page as you talk and it's still nothing at the moment. But the fact is, this company is just a cash-rich company because in mid-2014, UK's Essentra came knocking at their door saying, we love you, do you want to sell us your stuff? And so it's a cash company. It has cash in its coffers. And obviously, they have to comply with Bursa and
Correct.
say when, what you're going to do with all this money. You can't roll around naked in it forever.
Correct. And if you look at the requirement, they were supposed to acquire a new business by the end of December 2015, but I think they have obtained extension until sometime in 2016. And
June. They had extension, I think, till mid-June.
To mid-June, and and of course they are looking at many assets before, and those assets, as we discussed earlier, we don't really want them to go into.
Well, put it this way: if you acquire assets or you want to move into companies, the trend, especially in Malaysia in the past couple of years, is either you go into property,
correct,
or you go into
oil and gas.
Oil and gas, yes, oil, property, plantations, any one of those that you go into. The fact is, even if they want to go into this, do they have good enough assets? The oil and gas thing, it maybe they found something bargain basement cheap that they can buy at a quarter of a price. But at the moment, since we talked about $28 a barrel for oil, do you want to really make that bet at this moment? I don't know. What would you? Let's say I gave you an oil and gas asset, bargain basement, cheap stuff. Would you buy it? Would you buy it, or are you too?
I think I'm waiting for the oil price to bottom down, and then we look
28. Is it bottom?
I don't think so. I mean, apparently Goldman Sachs thinks it's $20 per barrel, and with the current glut, 10, for instance,
But let's say it's bargain basement cheap.
Yeah, I mean,
let's say the asset, if it's almost practically free, would you actually take it?
I think I would actually take it, and work the assets out to generate more cash, perhaps. If it can bring benefits to the company. And if you look in the, despite the company being a PN16 company or a cash-rich company, they still have some assets and generate rental income of 1.5 million ringgit on an annual basis. A factory in Ipoh.
Yes, exactly. Hence why you do see some residual in the earnings as well. So Abric, we are still wondering what on earth they're answering, but most likely, I think they are going to be announcing an asset injection. I can't figure out anything else it might be. Unless you know something. No, I don't think I know something. So just to wrap it up, what else? So what do we look at when you wrap it up?
We were looking at Abric Bhd. The stock was suspended pending material announcement. As we go on air today, we have yet to receive any material news on that. Now moving on to brokers' call, Sime Darby Bhd. The research was brought courtesy of CIMB and AmResearch and AmResearch today. The stock today closed down 0.42% or 3 cents lower at 7 ringgit and 9 cents today. It has fallen by 23% since February 2015.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, the slumping CPO prices, we're talking about oil prices and CPO prices, the weather pattern, I mean, we cannot hesitate to realize that the weather pattern has pretty much been very screwy over the past couple of months. And, if you look at the if you look at the two houses that we were talking about, both of them have almost exactly the same call. Both of them have hold. CIMB is slightly less convinced. They lowered their target price to 785. AM is still holding firm at $8.
Yeah, and this is a company that has drawn flag from ratings agencies because they also have some bonds issuing. If you look at the chronology last year before we go to the research house, 30th of March, Fitch reverses outlook to negative. 28th of May last year, S&P downgrade ratings to A- from A. And in September 2015, Moody's reverses outlook to negative. What this is telling signs saying that these ratings agencies are concerned on the financial health. I mean, not really financial health, but operational risks associated with this company.
Yeah, but if you look at something like by the way, I still am saying you should all go watch The Big Short. The fact is, ratings agencies do have their own drama to march to, but regardless of that, I think in general, CPO has been getting it bad over the past year. And if you look at CIMB, they did note that El Nino and maybe its slightly trampy girlfriend, La Nina, might actually play a big part. So resulted in 3-month fall of rainfall deficit, right? So that is why actually they are slightly negative, because this El Nino impact there's going to be, make sure that their fresh fruit bunches tons will be about 10 to 10.1. That's what CIMB is thinking, which is actually lower than the 11 million tons that they had the target without El Nino.
Yeah, and eventually, last Friday as well, when CIMB was writing the note based on the analyst presentation, Sime Darby told analysts that the CPO price could hover to 2,500 to 2,600 ringgit in the second half of this year. And according to CIMB, they are cutting the EPS forecast by 4 to 5% for FY16-17 to reflect lower fresh fruit bunch output assumptions due to that very weather pattern El Nino.
Well, in AmResearch's case, like we said, still a hold. They still hold at 8 because I think in their universe, because all the research houses have universes.
Correct.
So in their universe, they think it's on a 20% discount to SOP value of 10 ringgit per share. So they pretty much reiterate the same thing. They do feel that the yields are going to fall. This is not just going to be the Sime Darby story, because Sime Darby, you must remember, plantations is their main thing.
Correct.
They will tell you that the others are important, which they are, before Sime Darby gives me a phone call. They are, but of course nothing beats plantation. So the fact is they still think that they just got an update, but they're still holding firm. They're at least not so negative as CIMB.
Yes, correct. And if you look at the AmResearch, they are still maintaining the numbers for now, pending the meeting with the two divisions as well. But anyway, earnings-wise, just before we wrap it all up, Sime Darby forecast headline KPI early this year to chalk net profit of 2 billion ringgit, lower than what it used to rake in, say, last year, FY 2015, where they got some 2.3 billion ringgit.
Yeah, okay, so if you look at the earnings, right, it's still 10 billion, so we have to see.
Yeah, correct. So just to take it all home away, CIMB Research today maintained hold with the target price of lower target price of 7.85 ringgit, while AmResearch maintained hold with a fair value of 8 ringgit per share. That's all we have now, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm Sulhi Azman, joined by Nadia Hassan. For more information, you can always log into our website at www.thehmarkets.com or get any our The Edge Financial Daily or any The Edge Weekly at any sensible newsstands throughout the country. I'm Sulhi Azman, joined by Nadia Hassan. Good night and good luck.